to another episode of the Glory Podcast. I'm here with my good homie, man. This guy really inspires me, man, on a daily basis.
Crazy.
He freaks me out with his crazy pictures on Instagram sometimes. But I want y'all to welcome my boy, music artist. I mean, you were like an overall visionary in general.
Complete artist, man.
Mr. Frankhavemercy.
Thanks for having me,
man.
brother.
Thank you for coming through.
Appreciate you, man.
So,
appreciate y'all.
You know, this is a very chill podcast. You feel me? Like, it ain't nothing like that. But I got to start off by saying, like, I first met you because I saw you. I mean, I saw you out and about.
Yeah.
But I saw you.
I think I saw you first at this art event at Terrence J. crib.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I was faded.
Yeah.
As usual.
Everybody was.
But I recognized your art on Instagram and I recognized your photography on Instagram, and I was like, man, I got to shoot with this guy. And I was going through like a real crazy pivotal time. I think I had told you that. I'm like, I'm going through it. Whoop-de-whoop.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need some images to like reflect where I am right now.
Right.
You know, and you did that. We kind of just went rogue style. We went downtown. We just shot around a little bit, but it was more about your presence than it was the photography, even though the photography was great.
Yeah.
I got to learn a lot about you that day, and I was like, man, this nigga is interesting.
Man, I think that's my gift. Above everything else, is just like my social skills and people skills.
And I was surprised because you wear the mask, and we'll get to that in a second.
Yep.
But you wear the mask in a lot of your public appearances and a lot of your public things, and so I'm gonna be honest. I was like, is the nigga fucked up under is this nigga's teeth fucked up? Is something going on up under the mask? The nigga gonna kill me when we shooting? But you didn't. You took it off, and you good. Yeah. You know, you're a normal guy. Yeah. So let's start off and talk about why you choose to wear the mask in general.
So first off, I'm gonna credit like Japanese and Asian culture with anime and stuff like that. Growing up, I was very inspired by it. But second of all, I was in the Army from the time I was 18 till I was 22. And I would travel a lot illegally. And leave like without putting in leave was technically like AWOL. So to just keep people at work not knowing my business, I would just cover my face while I was...
The nigga was out here hiding.
Man.
You feel me? Like,
straight up.
Hold on. I never knew that. I thought this had like something to do with like, I don't know, some Michael Jackson shit.
Yeah,
or something.
I mean, it's a lot of different inspos, but that was one of the main reasons that kind of like, because I'd be on the gram doing wild shit, so I was like, nobody at work can't know I'm out here, man. So I'll just cover my face and I go back to work.
You niggas on the gram need to understand, like maybe you need to just go get a face mask and things will be all right. But I thought that was very interesting about you. Being an artist myself, I was like, you know, for you to reveal or not to reveal so much of yourself, which is your face. And I'm somebody that like, you know, I use this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get paid off of my face a lot. And for you, because you ain't fucked up looking, you know, I was like, why is this dude covering his face? And so I felt like it added a allure and a mystery to you. Yep. When I met you, I think the most compelling thing about you was that you were totally opposite from the guy behind the mask. Yep. And so I feel like revealing the guy behind the mask is like a piece of your art. Yeah. You know, because a lot of people see your work and, you know, I was in Atlanta recently. You were there. We tried to link up. We couldn't link up because you were out there hosting a seminar for Google.
So like a workshop. Yeah, I got a partnership with Google. So I teach like workshop classes at their headquarters in different places. So I did one in London, did one in Atlanta.
But what exactly do you teach? Because, wait, I got to say this because when I first saw you, I was, of course, intrigued. I'm like, niggas is out here walking around with a mask.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
this nigga
am I doing something wrong or is he doing something right? But what I was intrigued by was the fact that you did photography, you did art, you did like a lot of different things. And I'm like, well, what does this nigga do? Yeah. So what exactly is it that you do out? I mean, I know you do art, but like, how do you put a name on the Frankhavemercy brand?
I mean, so the simple answer would be I'm just an artist, a visual artist. I'm starting to get into music too. But I mean, a more defined answer would be, I mean, I just kind of wake up and do what the fuck I feel like doing. Yeah. Like to keep it a bug with you. I mean, that's what it is. Like, I like to design, I like to do photography. But I don't lead with that. Cause when you do that shit in LA, it freak people out. They like,
of course,
this nigga think he do everything right.
But you can though, because and I'm somebody who's been in front of the camera for some years, and I remember going to your place, and I was like enamored with your place, like the detail, the plants, everything. I was like, man, this dude is something different. I'm blessed to be around him right now. So it's kind of like, I wanted to do more research. I think after I met you, than before I met you, because before I'm like, okay, this nigga got a mask. He takes some good pictures.
Yeah, niggas just think I be on some weird shit. Like,
let me get some good shots. But you also, you're not a weird nigga. You actually are just in tune with what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to your art, I know you were in the Army for what, man, how many years?
4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
I would never expect that, bro.
Yeah.
How did you get into the Army? And on top of that, was it hard for you to express your art while you were kind of like in the services? Because I know that they kind of put limitations and restrictions on you guys.
Yeah. So I'm going to answer the first question first. Coming up, I was super into basketball. My first tattoo was a basketball tattoo.
Word.
I went to Trinity Christian School my senior year. I was supposed to go to I had a few different college opportunities, but they wanted me to go to like junior college and all this other shit. All my other basketball homies was like broke. I just wasn't about that. So my mom was in the Army for 20-something years. So growing up, she was kind of the role model.
Okay.
So I was like, she had her own shit. She had her own money. I'm going to just go in the Army and do my thing. I can get out of my hometown. You know what I'm saying? See the world a little bit.
Why not college versus like the Army? Because I know if you playing basketball, it's kind of tricky to like, do I play basketball for college or do I go into the Army?
I think it got to the point.
I'm gonna say this. I'm a scary ass nigga.
Yeah.
And the Army frightens me. Yeah. And things about that service frightens me. And when you told me that you were in the Army, I was like, damn, like, so this nigga done seen some shit.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little hesitant going in, but like I said, I just saw what it can provide for you economically.
Right.
So I thought it was the right thing to do. I really wanted to play basketball, but I was just kind of over school. I didn't really have a solid scholarship offer at the time.
Right.
And they wanted me to reclass or go to JUCO,
right,
which basically like spending another year in high school. I'm like, nah, I'm good on that. But yeah, so I went into the Army, man. It was real different. And I actually credit the Army for getting me into art because I didn't grow up wanting to be an artist. I was trash in art class and all that shit. Yeah, I couldn't design, couldn't paint.
And I thought the opposite because I'm like, this guy's so talented and now look at where he is. I assumed that you were in art your whole entire life because you grew up in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, Fayetteville. Okay, and I think that's why everybody from there is like kind of shocked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up, I was just like an athlete type of dude. I was always smart, but I was never an artist. You know what I'm saying? So now it kind of caught people off guard, like, damn, you do art?
But I feel like if you're an artist, you're always an artist. So was it because you were an athlete that, not that you hit
I was always in the aesthetic.
Something that you, because I mean, your stuff is so dope now. I'm like, this has it's a purpose behind it. It had to come from somewhere. Did you feel like at that time, because I grew up in Fayetteville, because I played sports, I couldn't necessarily dive into art like I wanted to, and you kind of had a passion that was like on fire inside of you that you couldn't kind of.
Well, I think where I'm from, anyway, it wasn't like regular
for
people to be artists and stuff like that. It's just that's something new, like with Instagram and stuff.
Right.
Where I was from, it was like either you hooping or you going to the Army. Yeah. Straight up, or you selling drugs.
Damn, the Army though.
Well, I grew up in the Army. Fayetteville's an Army town. So,
all right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's a big ass base there, Fort Bragg.
Right.
It's the biggest base in the world.
Okay.
So yeah, man. I don't know, man, but I'm kind of thankful I went into the Army because it drove me into finding something to find a way to express myself. You know what I'm saying?
Was things that happened in the Army, did they shape where you are as an artist now? Because I'm sure, like, you know, when you in the Army, you kind of like. The Army, damn, you know, like, listen, if I was going to join the service, I'd probably join the Air Force.
Yeah.
The Navy or some shit. I feel like that shit is a little more easier.
Yeah.
When you're in the Army, I'm like, man, these motherfuckers is out here really doing some shit.
Yeah. And I went to Afghanistan in 2013 to 2014.
I remember you telling me that.
So that definitely changed my life. They gave me a lot of discipline. To this day, I wake up early. I'm usually on time. Like, I pulled up on time today.
Yeah, you did, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
early, bro.
I'm usually on time to a lot of things. It's just natural for me. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely credit the Army for like a lot of good things in my life.
Did it change your perspective? Because I'm sure that, you know, as an artist that you are, I'm sure you had that embedded in you. But did it change your perspective on how you looked at art after going through that and then going to Afghanistan? I'm sure that opens your mind up to some things.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it as a luxury.
Understand. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people kind of discredit it or take advantage of it, or they just be out here, like, playing around with cameras or with art and stuff. I'm saying they're artists. So I looked at it like a luxury, like a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, on the weekends, I get to go away and go to, like, New York and meet people, like, that's doing art, like, for a living. Like, people like you say you've been in the industry for, like, 10 years.
Yeah, man.
So, I mean, I just kind of moved to LA 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, meeting somebody like you some years ago, I'd have been like, damn, like, he don't got a 9 to 5. He, like, doing what he loved. Like, to me, that was super inspiring. So,
did the Army give you a little bit of a leeway to be able to do that? Because I'm like,
none.
When did you have time to fucking paint?
Which is why I started
anything?
Wearing the mask, because I would just dip off.
Okay.
You feel me? So I would dip off and just kind of be under the radar.
Listen, if you see me out here with the Frankhavemercy mask, which I'm sure you're going to be trademarking soon.
Or
if you see me, it's because I'm dipping off and I'm somewhere I ain't supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I mean, is that even allowed? Like, you know, you was...
Not really. I wasn't even really supposed to go like 250 miles outside of my base.
Wow.
I was in Paris and Italy and shit.
Wow. Yeah. So what drove you to that? Was it the art or was it the ambition to see the world? Because I know coming from Fayetteville, it's not much that you can see unless you travel outside of that. So what drove you to even say, you know what, I'm kind of willing to break the rules a little bit?
Yeah.
Was it the passion behind the art?
Man, I'm gonna credit like Instagram is really powerful, bro. Because
Gram.
I would like follow people. The gram is crazy, bro. Like,
man, see, I be trying to deny the gram.
I was following people that lived in like New York and LA, and I'm like, damn, I kind of want to go out there and see what's up. You know what I'm saying? What's up with that? Like, growing up in Fayetteville, I never really had a reason to even think about LA.
So wait, do you think that if Instagram didn't exist, because see, this is important shit right here, because new artists and new people are emerging because of Instagram.
Yep.
If Instagram didn't exist, you would have maybe not had the tenacity, courage, or whatever to like go out and meet other people. And
Agreed,
do other
man.
things.
I always had the ambition to be great, though. So I don't want to discredit that. I always had the ambition to be great.
Right.
But my great was being great within the confines of what I was doing.
Right.
So I thought I could go to the NBA. And then I went to the Army. I was like, all right, I'm going to do 20 years and become a fucking 1-star general.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I always had the ambition to be great. Okay. But Instagram just kind of broadened the horizon to be like, damn, I can go to fucking LA and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, what the hell?
No, hold up. We got, now everybody watching now, don't think your ass can come to LA and become Frankhavemercy. But, because when I moved here, and I say this a lot, I moved here about 10 years ago. I remember living here and like using MapQuest to get to my auditions. Yeah. Using it just wasn't what it was now. So it's kind of crazy to sit here and talk to you and know that Instagram had a big part in you having the confidence to move, or you having the confidence to do what you do now. Yeah. So
I always had confidence though.
Yeah.
Let's get that out the way. Like, confidence to me is like probably the most important thing. My mom instilled that in me from day one. So I always had the confidence to walk around like I was that nigga. Right. You know what I'm saying? Humbly.
Yeah.
You feel me?
But Instagram, in a way, kind of gave you an outlet.
It gave me hope.
It gave you hope. And you know, I was going to ask you further in this interview, and I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, I was going to ask this nigga how hard it was, or how it is different now being an artist with the social media world versus back in the day. But I realize now you are one of the millennial artists, because you are one of the artists that's taking advantage of Instagram and a lot of the social media platforms that we have out there to display your art. So after you did 4 years in, you know, the service, I know they give you an opportunity. Hey, you want to do 4 more? What kind of made you say, man, look, I'm done, and I kind of have the confidence in myself to chase, because you're young. Yeah. How old are you?
24.
24. Right, what the fuck? Yeah. I'm old and shit. 30. All right.
That's prime years.
But to be amongst somebody that's so young and so ambitious, and you've done so much in your life, it's kind of crazy, because
appreciate it.
You know, without the social media world and without Instagram world, I don't know if the younger generation would be able to grasp moving to LA and doing all those different things. So after your 4 years, what made you say I got the confidence in myself to just quit after kind of one term?
So there was one instance where I felt like everything shifted for me. I was working with a company called Zane Road.
Okay.
Who's based out of Australia. But they had a guy out here named Dan, and a guy named Jono, who's the founder. And they gave me an opportunity to go out to Seattle and shoot Nate Robinson, who's an NBA player, super profound. He was in the NBA for like 11 years.
Okay.
Like 3-time dunk contest.
No, were you
champion.
already doing photography at this time?
I was doing photography.
Okay.
They flew me out there to do a campaign with him. So I'm doing the campaign, I'm shooting. I get a notification on my phone. They paid me while I was doing the shoot.
Right.
So I saw the amount pop up. They paid me like $2,500.
Whoa.
That's
good for like just some photography shit. Yeah.
And you gotta understand, I was in the Army, bro. I was making like $1,600 a month.
Wow.
800 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I went out there for a day and made $2,500. I'm like, the Army is, I gotta get out of this shit.
You saw the power.
Yeah, I'm like, this shit's miserable.
You saw the power in your art, man.
Man, I'm like, what the fuck people paying this to? Because I used to shoot shit for free, bro. I would reach out to people and be like, yo, you need photos?
Right.
I could probably go on my DM right now and just find like celebrities that I hit up back in like 2015.
Really?
They probably didn't respond, but it's still there. Where I was like, yo, if I can get any opportunity to just, that's why when people hit me up, bro, I respond to everybody.
So because you say that, it like, because I look at you as like the next wave. You know what I'm saying? And really, I was telling my producers and everybody when I came in, I'm like, this dude right here is next. And like, I want to catch him. Yeah. And I was even telling my camera guy, I say, in 10 years, you're going to want to know him.
Yep.
You're going to wish you knew him.
Probably sooner than that.
You know, but right now though, it's like I look at your social media presence, I look at what you're doing, and I'm like fucking blown away.
Appreciate it.
Because you know I don't fuck with everybody, just like you do.
Yeah,
you know, told me that.
Up.
But I'm just like, you know, it's a certain certain group of people that I'm like, damn, they're on some next level shit, and I think that's what you on. So when you left the Army and you moved to LA. How did you get your foot in the ground? Because I know a lot of guys out here, a lot of artists that are watching right now, they look at you, you're so young, and you kind of had somewhat of a traditional upbringing. And, you know, going to the Army is kind of traditional in this country.
Yep.
And you broke the mold and you did some untraditional shit.
Yeah.
How did you get your feet wet in LA, and how did you get to, like, where people are respecting where you are right now?
Just talking to people like this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Being able to look people in their eyes and have a conversation. Being genuine, being real. Really just like organic relationships. Like I would just meet people every month.
Did you meet people prior to coming to LA?
I would come here maybe like once every like 3 months and meet a few people. But I met majority of the people probably in 2016 when I first moved here in March in that year. And just meeting people, man, and building organic relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Right. LA is a tough place,
man,
and I know that because nigga that been out here broke. And
what I tell people, man, it's so easy that it's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so easy that it's hard, but
because you can be amongst people that you looked up your whole life, you looked up to them your whole life,
right?
But you can also ruin those relationships in an instant,
right?
You know, being too thirsty or whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely.
So to me, like everything is at your fingertips, and it's so easy to like, you know, get caught up in what they call the glitz and the glam out here. You know, the Hollywood shit.
But you only been here for over 2 years.
2 years, 4 months.
And I don't know anybody, and I'm gonna say this for real because I've been here going on 10.
Yeah.
I mean, my first 2 years were lit.
Yeah.
Look, I was out here being like a socialite and shit.
Yeah.
You know, which at the time it helped. But I don't know anybody that's been here for the amount of time that you've been in, kind of accomplished. And even somebody like myself, I reached out to you to shoot me.
Yep.
How did you get how did you get attention so quick? I mean, tell me, because I want to know, man.
I think one thing I did, I was putting out so much content. I would try to like post at least once or twice a day.
Oh, wow, okay.
Like straight up. You know what I'm saying? To the point where
some
like
Instagram listenings and I'm learning 101.
You know what I'm saying? So I was doing that. And not only posting a lot, but posting like quality shit.
Quality stuff,
So my thing was if somebody see this, like whoever see it, I don't want them to be able to like, oh, that nigga shit trash.
Right.
I want them to look at it and be like, damn, this shit's fire.
And so you just started getting like traction on Instagram. And
it's a mix though. It was meeting people, putting out quality shit, and just being a good person.
But I feel like in a way,
and a little bit of luck.
A little bit of luck, because I'm about to say, nigga, in a way, you ended up on the social scene fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And I mean, most people come out here to LA and it takes years, 4, 5, 6 years to even be able to get the right group of friends that they can even rock with. And you seem to hop on the social scene quickly to where if I knew your name, because I ain't tooting my own horn.
Nah, straight up.
But I mean, I've been there for a minute and I know everybody.
Yeah, you
But
one of
if
them.
I knew your name, it was something special to me. So how did you get your footing so quick? Because I know so many people move here every day.
Man, I feel like LA is like super small, man, and like it's so rare to come across like cool people.
Yeah.
That can do cool shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Usually the cool people is like the niggas that's not really that dope at something.
Okay, yeah.
And when you find a combination of both, like a nigga that's talented and they're a good person, like I feel like that's when it should just speed up for you.
Okay.
So I've always been amongst like the people that was like cool.
Okay.
Quote unquote, like high school, middle school.
But I mean, but damn. And you know, in LA,
it might be
it's
smaller.
It's hard to get around the people that's cool.
It's not, man. I went to a high school that had 4,000 kids at a point. Like, if you think about it, is it 4,000 people that's here? That's
so you saying because I I mean I feel the same way because I got out here and I ain't trying to say shit. But I was instantly cool.
You feel
all right?
Like,
but if you cool, you fucking cool. But I'm saying like in 2 years, I mean, you have achieved much more than a lot of my counterparts that's been here for 10, 12 and trying to make it. And so that's a lot to say to you.
I mean, a lot of that is focus too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you come out here and you just bullshitting, it's different. I think I had already jumped off the porch before I moved out here. So I already knew like not to party 3 to 4 times a week or like shit that I couldn't do.
I wish we was friends when I was 23 because I listen, I feel like when I first moved to LA, I just came off a reality show and I thought I was hot.
Yep.
All right. And I was hanging with like all these different celebrities. Mm-hmm. I remember Tiana Taylor, her mom asked her, could she move in with me? So my introduction to LA was Tiana living with me and she knew everybody. So I slid in and I got to know a lot of people and, you know, I worked my way up the social ladder because that's as important as working yourself up the artistic ladder, the work
probably
ladder.
The most important.
Yeah, the social ladder is important. And you seem to work yourself up the social ladder quite quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of tripped out by that because I'm like, nigga, I didn't know about you 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did we let him in, y'all?
Yeah.
So, but
nigga just snuck in the gate real quick.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a great thing because I feel like you mastered the art of keeping yourself mysterious and keeping yourself kind of out the way, but you in the way a lot, which is a good thing.
I agree.
So I know you went down home to North Carolina recently.
Yep. Tell
us about that. You told me that you sold out, man, in like a matter of time, and I'm like,
of days, man. I went to so shout out to the Harvey B. Gantt Center.
You did an art gallery there, right?
Yep.
Did you specificate in your pictures, your photographs?
So my partner Brandon D. Nixon, who's been my best friend since 9th grade, helps me curate all that. And we sat down when I was in London and we picked out 12 photos that I thought were the best for that. I tried to make sure it was like people of color in it.
Right.
There was a couple like white girls in it too. You know what I'm saying? Like I like all people, but you know, I tried to make sure like, you know, people of color had something to look at and be like, damn, I could be viewed as art too. So
yeah, absolutely.
We picked 12 of my favorite images and that's how we went about that. And they kept it up for 6 months in there. And then we closed it out with an event on the 13th of July, and it was like 300 people there. It was crazy.
And I know you were telling me a lot of your, I was like, how did you sell out? Like, how did you do this? You told me all Instagram. Yeah. So are a lot of your followers like art people and people that are into that like really want to come out?
It's like a cult. It's a cult following, man. I still to this day, I haven't had a cosign.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't had nobody really post me and be like, yo, this nigga tight.
Yeah.
It's just been a steady, like, when I moved out here, I'll say the first time I came to LA, I probably had like 3,000 followers. Wow. Right now, I probably got like 46 or something like that. So it's been like, and all those are people that fuck with me, not because somebody else do. Right. It's just people that found me like organically.
Right.
So I feel like my social media presence is like my 40 racks is like compared to somebody that got like 300K.
I mean, because I put it to you like this: they all engaged,
right?
So if you got 40,000 real followers and people that are engaged, when you go to towns like you go to, you can sell out and do these galleries. And I was watching on Instagram and I was impressed, and I was like, "What the fuck, man!" Like you were showing like the crowd and the people that came out, and it's kind of incredible that you're so young and you're 24 and you could bring out crowds like this. So how do you, with social media, do you find it hard to be in the middle of being artistic and being true to yourself? Yeah. And sometimes having to sell out because of Instagram. Instagram is such a sellout place. Yeah.
Man, I just feel like I'm just me, man. If I'm walking down the street and somebody compliment me and say, yo, that's a nice shirt, I'm going to say thanks. Yeah. So I take the same approach on Instagram. Like if somebody, take time out their day to leave a comment on my shit.
You always hit me back, man.
Yeah. I'm replying to them.
You always reply, bro. I'm like, yo, this man is on it. Yeah.
Straight up. Like,
you're engaged.
I'm engaged, man. If you take time out your day to show me any type of love, I'm showing that same love back automatically. Right. I don't care who you is. I don't care if we had trouble in the past, whatever. Like, matter of fact, at my show, it was this dude. I remember when I first started photography, he was like, man, this dude trash, and everybody think they're a photographer and all this. He was at the show. Wow. Years later, it's been like 3-4 years since then. He was at the show showing love. Wow. And me, I'm not going to be like, oh, this a nigga that was hating. It's cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I show everybody love, and I feel like that's something that helped my social media like grow even more.
Do you find influence in living here in L.A.? And do you find influence, because to me, you're like the perfect storm because you're like, all right, I'm involved, but I'm not too involved. Mm-hmm. So do you find influence in the bullshit as well as, what you doing? Because I know it's hard to decipher.
Man, LA is amazing. Yeah. First of all, but like I said, there's like two sides to it. So I indulge in the bullshit every now and then. I go to the club, get faded, fuck with some hoes, all that. It's a lot of nice women out here. It's a lot of bullshit. But, you feel me? Like,
and that's another thing I wanted to ask. I asked him this when we was hanging out. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm sure your DMs be popping, man. But do these bitches know what you look like? Do they think you're crazy? Bro. No, and he told me, he said, yo, they have never seen me under the mask, but they still come. Yeah. They still want to hang out.
They pull up to the crib. That shit is crazy to
wait a minute. You mean to tell me hoes is pulling up to Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger ass mask nigga? And I was like, well, goddamn. But I feel like that has a lot to do with what you put off.
Yeah, I think it's the energy.
Your energy.
Got away with words, you nigga.
You got away with words.
I'll be on my Shakespeare shit.
Be on the phone. You probably be on the phone talking to people like, yeah, what's up in there? Like, I don't know.
I'll FaceTime a chick quick though.
With the mask on?
No, with it off. If she try to play me, I'll FaceTime her quick. What's your number? I'm gonna FaceTime.
I'm about to actually
straight up.
You know what?
Like, don't.
Here's the deal. I'm about to start wearing a mask. Yeah. It seems to have worked in your favor in LA for the past 2 years, and I'm like, God damn.
I done pulled some Jones. I've been like, man, I didn't think I was ever gonna touch this.
I mean, because niggas might think you're ugly. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If a chick try to play me, I'll take it off.
I'm gonna be honest. When this nigga, I was like, man, is the nigga's grill fucked up? Yeah. Like, does the nigga not
People
have
think I might got a scar.
You have a bottom nose. And, like, you look normal, man. That's kind of crazy. But I think that is, we go back. I'm inspired by, like, the 90s and, like, the era of, like, Mystique. Yeah. And I think that you play into that very well, especially in your art, you know, and which is why
I feel like it makes people focus on the art.
I think it makes people focus on the art for sure, because it's kind of like, you're telling them with the mask, like, don't focus on me, focus on the art. Right. So, speaking of the art, what is your inspiration? Where do you grab stuff from? Because I know you paint. Yep. You do photography. Yep. What else?
I design clothes.
You design clothes. I mean, like, when I remember going to your crib and I'm like, well, nigga, what don't you do? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I need all the outlets, man. Yeah. But where I get my inspiration from, I get it from the lowest levels and the highest levels. Okay. So I could take something as simple as us having a conversation. Right. A real conversation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you spoke how you was from Houston and yes, how you trying to merge, you know, the Hollywood scene with the real shit.
Absolutely.
So I could take stuff like that and flip it into inspiration, but I could also take stuff like, you know, meeting Kanye West or like, you know, having a conversation with Kid Cudi and people like that. Like shit like that is really inspiring too.
Right.
But I also taking inspiration from like everyday conversations with just humans.
Do you still get, because I know now, I'm sure with the mask and when you go out, people are starting to recognize you.
Yeah.
Do you still get starstruck or do you still feel like a sense of honor? Because I know Kanye pretty well and I've been around him and I never forget the first time I met him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, because he was my favorite rapper in high school. He made me feel all right about being slightly preppy and shit. So do you still get excitement when you meet those people?
Man, 100%.
Okay.
And I would tell people you ain't even gotta be as lit as Kanye, man. If you inspire me, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna look in your face and be like, bro, I fuck with your shit. You inspire me. And it's the same thing with Kanye. I'm not gonna get on my knees and bow down to them, but I told him straight up, like, bro, you built the army of geniuses. Like, you made niggas like me and you like believe in ourselves to the point where we can get to this point.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Who are you inspired by now, man? Like, cause I know it's a lot out there.
Yeah.
And with Instagram, it's a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
But even with Instagram, who do you feel like from right now that kind of like feeds the Frankhavemercy brand?
So I'm gonna lead with this. Like, I'm very inspired by my mother.
Okay.
Just cause she a dope ass person.
I seen your mama on the gram, man.
Yeah, like I feel like if I get lit, my mom gonna get famous before me.
Okay.
Like that's the type of energy she got. She like me times 3. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna lead with that. She inspires me for sure. But I also get inspiration from music artists. You know, Travis Scott, like his sonics and how much passion he puts into his art. To me, is really dope. Of course, Kanye West. You got people like Elon Musk, like changing the like paradigm of the whole world. Shit. I mean, looking at let's look at people that people be bashing, man. Like Kylie Jenner to me is like inspirational. Like she almost a billionaire.
Right. Yeah.
That's crazy to me, bro.
You know what?
You feel me? Like
it's crazy. Like, I've been knowing her since she was like 15.
So it got to be even crazier for you.
But I would, hell yeah, because she got more money than me.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of people. Crazy. She got more money than Kim.
But you know what? I would say this. I remember meeting her, and I remember being enamored by her personality and by her drive.
I haven't met her yet.
I was like, damn, like, God damn it, you smarter than me.
Yeah.
You know, not in a sense, but she was she knew what she was. And I also feel like at that age, you probably knew who you were. You know, because...
At what age?
I mean, listen, you guys ain't too far. She's 21.
Yeah.
You're 24.
Okay, gotcha.
I feel like the generation... I'm 30 years old.
Okay.
So I feel like the generational gap between my age and then your sector, which is like the millennials, I feel like you guys are so in tune with yourself.
Yeah.
I want to know from somebody like you, because you're very comfortable with yourself, very comfortable who you are. And I know a lot of people my age and a lot of people in my generation have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Where did you find comfortability in being you and being able to express yourself as an artist?
Man, I think it just came from like trials and tribulations, you know what I'm saying? From coming up in school, where like I said, I was pretty smart. I grew up in like a suburban area, so I went to a school that was majority Black. And because I had such a charismatic personality and stuff, I was pushed into doing stuff like SGA, like student government. So I would speak in front of the whole school.
President.
You feel me? I was too.
Yeah.
So I would have to speak in front of the whole school and shit like that. So I think from a young age, stuff like that made me like comfortable just speaking and being myself and expressing myself. Even playing basketball in front of the whole school, you know, just all the little shit.
Right.
So I feel like that kind of molded me. And then when I got out here, it's just kind of easy because it's a lot of people that's just not comfortable with themselves. So for me, it's like, you know, you get in front of people and you do something that they're afraid to do, like they got to respect it, even if they talking shit about you.
Yeah.
If they talking shit about you and you're on the red carpet, it's like, you can do that from over there, but can you do what I'm doing?
Straight up.
Without tripping over your words.
Yeah.
And being uncomfortable and not being able to look people in their face and like stuff like that. So.
Is it sometimes you still feel vulnerability or afraid to put something out because you're like, I don't know how this is going to be received? Because I feel like a lot of things you do it authentically.
Yeah.
You live your life authentically on Instagram, which has been a big part of your career. Do you sometimes feel apprehensive about putting certain things out?
Certain stuff I keep to myself just because I think it's best for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like vulnerability is like the biggest strength of anybody. You know what I'm saying? When you see somebody open up, I think you have like a newfound respect for that. So I think being vulnerable and being, in tune with your emotions, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
As a black man, that's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, they make us suppress it, you know, growing up. That's why I fuck with people that's like doing music that's open, like J. Cole, and you look at like Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
And Drake. You know what I'm saying? People that's just like comfortable putting their life into their music.
Yeah.
And not being afraid to like, tell you about the skeletons in the closet or different shit they was
Have you ever felt a stigma as an African American artist to show people that you are not like maybe the stereotypical African American artist? You're just a nigga?
Yeah.
We can call it what it is. Have you ever felt like that pressure to kind of show like I'm dope. I do
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I take pride in the quality of my shit.
Yeah, man.
Whatever I do, I want to make sure it's gonna be like dope. Whether it's designing clothes, whether it's making music, or whether it's photography, like I want to make sure when somebody sees it, they can resonate with it. Right. I had a 75-year-old white woman come to my show.
Wow.
And was able. That was crazy to me, and she was just able to appreciate it. So stuff like that is a reminder that, we still African Americans, but we all can do things on the same level.
Absolutely.
You feel me, sir?
That brings me to like my next part of the episode or the segment.
Yeah.
I asked every one of my hosts, our guests, sorry.
I'll host this shit. You cut me to
listen, you co-host it with me, bro. We talking.
Straight up.
But I asked every one of my guests, what is one of your recent glory moments? Because I know that sometimes in life we forget to honor those moments where we can say, man, I'm here, I'm doing it. Things are well. For me, like myself, it's like for me to even be able to interview people like you, I'm always like, damn, I'm gracious.
Yeah.
What's been one of your recent glory moments where you said, aha, I'm here, man, and I really appreciate where I'm at?
So I'm gonna go with three things.
Okay.
The first thing is going back to North Carolina and selling out a museum. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's insane.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like being in the museum with all these profound other artists and stuff, and then doing a thing where I can bring 300 people out in a small town.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Two, I think bringing my mom out to LA was pretty dope because I don't think anybody else in my family has ever been to LA except me and my mom now.
Yeah, man.
So that was different. And three, to play off what you said, is like doing stuff like this where like people are actually intrigued about like me. Like to me, that's insane. Yeah. So that's when shit clicks. I'm like, damn, I'm really out here in like Hollywood across from the Sony building and shit.
Right. Yeah,
to me, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, listen, it's crazy to me too.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to sit with myself and be like, okay, goddamn, you hard on yourself, and we all hard on ourselves in many ways, but you got where you needed to be.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like your glory comes from really focusing on the end goal.
Yeah.
And focusing on yourself and kind of really knowing who you are as an artist. A lot of people don't know who they are as an artist. So you can, just like you played your music before we started, you can feel confident in doing that because you're like, this is my art and this is what I believe in. This is what I'm putting out. Yep. And so the authenticity behind what you do is incredible, man.
Thank you, man.
Look, y'all motherfuckers out there. This dude right here is a genius, and I'm really honored to have you in here.
I really appreciate it.
And, I hope you keep on shooting my pictures and shit.
Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you, bro.
But,
anytime, man.
This is another episode of the Glory Podcast. Sorry. Yeah. I smoked a little bit before I
Nah, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing.
We sponsored by Champion, and we shoot this here at Groundwork Studios. I'm happy to have artists like Frankhavemercy.
Appreciate you, man.
In the building. Let everybody know, man, where they can find you on Instagram or your website.
First of all, shout out to the Glory Podcast and the whole crew here, man. Yes, everybody's amazing. Thanks for having me. You can find me on Frankhavemercy on Instagram. That's all one word, Frankhavemercy, on all platforms.
Hey, man, I'm inspired by you, brother.
Man, thank you,
teach me how to be an artist like you. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you next time.
All right, man.